Determined lifestyle. Number 2. Food. It's not a diet, a lifestyle. By Eloy Lopez-Curiel. Food is fuel. Be determined. You have to understand that what you eat affects you positively or negatively. There's no neutral. Okay? It's not like a car, you can just put it in neutral and it does nothing. It doesn't make you go forward or it doesn't make you go backwards. Food is the complete opposite of that. Food is either going to help you to become stronger, to give you the right vitamins, to give you the right nutrients, or it's going to do the complete opposite and take away vitamins from you, take away nutrients, cause you to have sicknesses inside your body, causes you to have a bunch of diseases and a bunch of cancers. And almost all doctors now will come out and say publicly that most of the diseases and sicknesses that people have stems from food. Not from real food, but from this sweet poison food that is being served now. So you have to be careful with your food. You have to put that as a top priority in your life. And people think that, oh, if I just work out tons, it doesn't really matter what I put in. No, it matters. You have to put in the correct kind of food. You cannot be eating sweet poison and think you're not going to get poison. Remember, it's a choice. Fasting. Be determined. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm a sad, dapper, creative Mexican clown that's lost over 70 pounds and maintains it by fasting. I fast on Mondays. Pick whatever day you want to not eat. You can still have your coffee and your vitamins. Talk to your doctor about any medication you're on, obviously. You need to fast. You want to look into the hundreds of videos that are out there on why fasting is so important? Do it. Or you can just listen and believe me, which you should do. With fasting one day, I also do intermittent fasting, eating one meal a day for the most part. People say don't do it, or they believe they can't do it. But again, if I can do it, you can do it. I have a big meal and then I just don't eat for the rest of the day. It's not that hard. Just pick what you want to eat. Eat healthy stuff, obviously, but you have to commit. You have to do something. And fasting is one of the ways that's going to help you now. The best way of thinking why fasting is important, just think of it in the sense of how the world operates. Nothing is 24/7. Everything takes a rest or takes a break. Your body needs to rest by sleeping. Your physical organs and everything inside them need to rest as well. You cannot be constantly consuming. Let your body rest. You can fast. You just have to be determined. Remember, it's a choice. Beef. Be determined. Beef is a rich source of high protein, essential for building and repairing tissues, muscles, and cells in the body. Ultimately, you need to eat beef. Now, there seems to be this new movement around in the world where they're constantly telling you that eating beef is bad and that beef is going to give you cancer and that beef is going to cause you to go sterile or whatever other nonsense. Those are all lies. People have been eating beef for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. As you eat more beef, your body becomes better. They literally have done studies where they show the effects of cats, where if you give a cat, the basic grain food, and then you give a cat actual beef, the difference is so noticeable that you almost feel bad for not giving your cat the proper nutrition. I eat beef all the time. You need to eat beef. You want to look into why you should eat beef? There's hundreds of videos, hundreds of articles, or you could just believe me. Look at my results. Again, remember, it's a choice. Sugar. Be determined. Sugar is sweet. Obviously, everyone loves sugar, but you need to be very, very, very cautious with sugar. It will make you gain so much weight. It will make you have an addiction to certain types of foods when you don't really need to be. And then also, as you are going around looking for food, you'll start noticing that sugar is put into everything for no reason, just for the sake of having the food be a little bit sweeter so that you're a little bit more addicted. You need to try to cut out sugar as much as possible. I understand that some people, you can't. But if you cut out sugar, you're going to feel so much better. And yes, you can look at all the videos and all the books about how sugar is so bad for you, or you can just believe me, look at my results. Remember, it's a choice. Fruits. Be determined. Fruits are amazing. You're supposed to be eating fruits. there's nothing really wrong with eating fruits, apart from when you start getting fruits and you start blending them and you start only drinking the juice of the fruit. That's when you start having excessive sugar and you start having all these other health issues because of that. But if you're just eating fruit by itself, you'll be fine. And sometimes people like to joke like, hey, you're eating fruits, you got to be careful, it has a lot of sugar. Like, yes, but the fruit itself is still healthy. And always you need to try to get the organic version of the fruit, because if it's not organic, then you're eating some kind of weird modified version that some company threw on a bunch of pesticides or whatever, and it's going to make you sick in one way or another. So remember, it's a choice. Refined grains, be determined. Refined grains undergo a process that removes the bran, the germs, stripping away valuable nutrients such as fiber, vitamins, and minerals. Basically, you're eating sugar whenever you have super refined grains. Okay, for instance, if you go and buy bread at the store, you look at the ingredients, it's a bunch of nonsense that you have no idea. But the main thing that you do see is that it's refined. So you want to eat grains that are as close to nature as possible. I understand it sounds hippy dippy and I don't like it, but that's just the reality. You want to eat what is actual food. You don't want to eat this fake stuff. The fake stuff is what causes you to be sick. Remember, it's either positive or negative. There is no neutral. Remember, it's a choice. Whole grains, be determined. Whole grains are rich in dietary fiber, which aids in digestion, helps maintain a healthy weight, and reduces the risk of constipation. You need to eat whole grains. Okay, you don't have to go so crazy with it that you eat it straight from the ground, but you need to try to focus on eating what is whole grains. Okay, but at the same time, you still need to be careful because there's still these companies out there that will have on their label whole grains and blah blah blah, and then you look in the back and there's a bunch of nonsense added on there, a bunch of oils and stuff. You need to try to eat as organic as possible. Just always look for as clean as possible. If you're reading the ingredients and you have no idea what it's saying, put it down, more than likely, okay? Remember, it's a choice. Seed oils, be determined. The main thing you need to know about seed oils is that they are all poison, okay? Unless you're having coconut or cold press olive oil, it is poison. Maybe avocado oil, I'm not sure about that one, but all that stuff is poison. You need to run away from all those seed oils. Anytime you see seed oil inside one of the foods, you should just try not to eat it. Your body's not meant to be eating these seed oils. I mean, the reason why you're getting sick and getting fat is because of all this crap that you're eating. So stop eating these seed oils. It's not good for you. Try to cut it out as much as possible. Okay? You need to really look at the food because it's everywhere. They want you to be sick. Okay, remember, it's a choice. Animal fats, be determined. You should be eating animal fats without any hesitation. Okay, all these people talking, no, you shouldn't be eating these animal fats are usually fat and ugly and don't know what they're talking about. Okay, they have some degree so they can tell you, oh, but it doesn't really matter what their degree is. Look at their bodies, look at them. Do they look healthy? No, then stop paying attention to them. You should be eating butter, grass-fed or grass-finished butter. You should be eating lard. Oh no, lard. Yes, you should be eating lard. Your ancestors for thousands of years lived off this. You'll be fine. You'll be so much better than all the other people that eat stuff with seed oils. And then on top of that, fries used to be cooked in beef fat. Like the McDonald's fries used to be cooked in beef fat. But now they're cooked in seed oils. But you know what they do to them? They add beef fat flavoring. So you intrinsically like this, but you're being forced to have something else. Eat animal fat. It's good for you. Remember, it's a choice. Soda. Be determined. I love soda. Okay, it's unfortunate, but I love it. I want to have a soda every single day, but you can't because soda is so bad for you. You need to try to cut that out as much as possible. You should technically just not drink any of it, and you should try to do a 30-day fast of no soda. You'll see the difference immediately. You'll lose weight. And the thing is, people are like, oh, but I drink diet soda. No, that stuff is also bad for you. They've done the studies where they show you, like, yes, obviously, if you drink soda every single day, you're going to gain weight. If you drink water, you won't. If you drink milk, you're not going to. But even when you do diet soda, you still gain weight because all that fakeness, all that weird oil stuff that they put inside it, it's not good for you. Now, are there some exceptions? Yes, there's probably like those really healthy versions of soda that are out there. Yeah, drink those. And what's crazy is that in the UK, what they do is they have the actual fruit juice and they just put it with carbonated water. Like, why can't we have that in America? I don't know. But for the most part, stay away from soda. It's no bueno. Remember, it's a choice. Water. Be determined. Water is not the same. There is levels to the water. Unfortunately, now you got to be extra careful with the water that you drink. The main thing you should focus on is, first, if you're getting water, don't get it from plastic bottles, which is almost impossible, I know, but try your hardest not to. 2, try to get water that's been from a spring, right? You really want spring water. That's why all these really expensive waters are always spring water. You never see that the really expensive water is just, reverse osmosis filtered. But if you can't get the spring water, then you should do the reverse osmosis spring water and you should just get the reverse osmosis water, which is just basically filtered water. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to drink tap water because that stuff has a bunch of nonsense in it. And I don't want to get into all the craziness that's out there, but we all know there's stuff in the tap water. You don't want to drink that. You don't even want to cook with that, honestly. And realistically, you don't even want to take a shower with that water. So you got to be real careful with the water, okay? But you want to be drinking water, okay? You want to be having enough water in your system to be hydrated. Not too much that you're constantly going to the bathroom because, it's a balance with all things. But drink water. Focus on drinking water. And people are like, oh, but I don't like water because it tastes plain or whatever. Okay, well, squeeze a little bit of lime, squeeze a little bit of lemon. Stop complaining. All right? Do you want to be sick and fat and lonely? Then drink all the poison. Or suck it up and drink water like you're supposed to. Remember, it's a choice. Fast food. Be determined. Anytime you see fast food places, what you should be immediately thinking is, that is poison. Okay, more than likely it's fried food that's a bunch of poison inside it, or a bunch of sugary nonsense, or the food is not even food, it's like fake food. Like if you go to, certain restaurants, they'll say that this isn't technically meat, it's meat with wood in it, or something crazy like that. So then why are you going to eat this nonsense? Because it's fast, because it's convenient? You tell me you don't have any time at all just to eat something at home. That's ridiculous. You need to stay away from most of the fast food. Now, again, I understand that, a treat now and then, that's not bad. But if you're making it a consistent thing that you're eating fast food, then you're going to have horrible health issues and you're going to die so miserable. It's a shame, honestly. Don't do it. Just stay away from fast food. Have it maybe once a week, but stay away from it. Remember, it's a choice. Home-cooked meals. Be determined. You should always be striving to eat a home-cooked meal. You should be thinking, okay, what can I cook at home? I don't have to go spend money at some restaurant. And more importantly, you can trust what you're cooking because you are cooking it. You know yourself. You know you wash your hands. You know the meat's clean. You know it's not spoiled. When you go to all these other places, you are hoping and praying that none of that is true. And now the way things are with the restaurants around here, honestly, you got to be extra careful. And I'm assuming, just like almost anybody else, you've gotten food poisoning from eating from these places. When's the last time you've gotten food poisoning from the food you cooked yourself? Hardly ever. And now it's so much easier to make home-cooked meals because you could just go online and look for a video, or you can look for a recipe, or you can just ask a friend. It's so easy to find what you want to eat out there. There's so many options. There's so many people that are trying to be creative to make you good, healthy, home-cooked meals that are cheap, that can, stretch the dollar. There's no excuse for not eating home-cooked meals. Remember, It's a choice. Fried foods. Be determined. I love fried foods, okay? I think about French fries and chicken, fried steak all the time. I love it. I hate that I love it, but it's just the reality. But you have to stay away from fried foods. They're so bad for you. One, it's cooked in all these oils that are literally poison. They don't do anything good for your body. They only hurt your body every single time you eat it. Now, if you happen to get fried food that's cooked in animal fat, fantastic. Enjoy it in moderation. But when it comes to regular fried food, like if you're trying to eat just some fried chicken from a certain place, you better only have that maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks, because it's going to negatively affect your body. So stay away from the fried food. I'm not saying never eat it, but you need to be honest with yourself and know that what you're eating is just poison. It tastes amazing, but it's just poison. Remember, it's a choice. Oven food. Be determined. You should be cooking things in the oven. That's such a no-brainer. But again, a lot of people need to learn this fact. So whenever you cook things in the oven, the food keeps its nutrients. The food it just tastes better cooked in the oven. And two, you don't have to add extra stuff to it to make it taste better, in the sense of like adding extra oils or things like that. You can just wrap it up in aluminum foil, let it cook for hours. It becomes tender, all the meat that you put in there. It truly is an amazing invention, and we really need to start using it way more than we do. So, cook with an oven. Definitely don't deep fry. Cook with an oven. Remember, it's a choice. Packaged pastries. Be determined. Whenever you walk into the grocery store or you walk into a gas station, there's tons of those packaged pastries. And whenever you see these, all you need to think is that it's just sweet poison. That's all they are. It's probably 49% oil, another 49% sugar, and 1% actual food. It's so bad for you. You don't need them. They are tasty, okay? I'm going to be honest, but you don't need those in your life. Now, can you find some healthier options that are like that? Sure, but you still need to be careful, because these things are so in your face all the time, and you will temporarily feel good and then for a long time feel bad, because again, food is either positive or negative. It's not neutral. So remember, it's a choice. Nuts and seeds. Be determined. These are great snacks. This is stuff that you should be eating instead of eating all that other junk. Having nuts and seeds as part of your diet is fantastic, because obviously you're going to have cravings now and then. And instead of eating random chips and poison, you could just have something that's actually healthy for you, right? Nuts and seeds, they have, protein, they have the good fat. It's nothing but positive, right? But again, you need to be careful, because sometimes even when you look at the nuts and seeds, you got to be careful that they don't put all this extra junk on it. They'll throw sugar on there, or they'll even put oil, or they'll cook them in these oils that are bad for you. But if you can just get the actual nuts and seeds as they are, then you can enjoy them. Even the ones that have salt, right? You got to be careful a little bit with salt, but yeah, enjoy them. That's what you should be eating, not all that other junk. Remember, it's a choice. Diabetes coffee. Be determined. There seems to be this trend where when you go get coffee, you're like, hey, can I have tons of sugar, and can you give me a bunch of these syrups and throw whipped cream on it and then put crackers inside there and all this other nonsense? You just need to drink coffee, okay? What you're drinking at that time is just diabetes. You are literally poisoning yourself. And then you're doing so many bad things to your body. You are poisoning yourself, and then you're super caffeinating yourself, which then makes you more thirsty. So then you drink more of the poison diabetes coffee. It's a horrible thing. You don't need all of that in your coffee. Remember, it's a choice. Coffee. Be determined. Just drink black coffee. Learn to enjoy the taste of coffee. Once you start drinking it as is, you'll realize how great the coffee is by itself. Now, I understand that some people want it to be a little bit sweeter. So, add honey or add agave or add stevia. What you don't want to be doing is adding all those crazy stuff, like I said, in the diabetes coffee part. You want to be drinking just regular black coffee, organic coffee. Have enough for the day. You don't want to go crazy and be drinking coffee all day, every day. Well, every day you don't want to drink it, but you don't want to go crazy with having tons and tons of cups of coffee because that will mess you up. But you should just learn to enjoy it for what it is. Remember, it's a choice. Fake meat. Be determined. Fake meat is being pushed so hard right now. They're trying to force everybody to eat fake meat instead of eating regular meat. Do not be scammed by these people. Fake meat is just straight up poison. It causes cancers. You can look it up, or you can just believe me what you should do. Do not eat this fake meat stuff. Eat actual meat. When you look at the ingredients of the fake meat, you see all these oils and all this sugar. It's literally poison. And what's crazy is that it's bad tasting poison. Like, why would you eat bad tasting poison when you have the real meat that's out there? Remember, it's a choice. Seafood. Be determined. Seafood is great. If you like seafood, I'm not a fan, but if you really enjoy seafood, actually eat seafood. You got to be careful because you can have stuff that poisons you by mistake, or it's not cooked all the way. You need to eat what you like. And remember, there's also fake seafood out there, which you need to stay away from big time. If you're allergic and you like the taste of crab, well, sorry, don't eat that fake stuff. Eat real seafood. The best option is always, from the actual sea, none of that farm stuff, because that farm stuff, they're usually sitting within their own filth. It's really gross. Like, you really need to eat stuff that's actually from the sea or from the rivers. Remember, it's a choice. Fake sweets. Be determined. You need to be extra careful when it comes to these fake sweets, because you're thinking that you're just a little bit of sugar. Like, no, these random treats are sugar with a bunch of oils, a bunch of chemicals that are inside it. It's not the actual sweet treat that you want. Even the things that are like these dried fruits that you think are okay to eat, realistically, they're not. They're a bunch of poison, right? It's all just fake sweet poison. You need to be very, very careful. And I understand everybody has a sweet tooth. That's why you need to be extra careful what you're eating. Remember, it's a choice. Real sweets. Be determined. Now, what's amazing that obviously we all have a sweet tooth in some shape or form, and there are real sweets that you can have that are healthier for you, that will not poison you. Like, for instance, if you just want to eat actual chocolate, there's levels to the chocolate. There's better quality chocolate. And, you try to eat these other kind of chocolate bars and you look in the back and it's a bunch of nonsense, where you can actually have an actual chocolate bar and it be good for you. And what's also great is that there's also these fruits that are dried up, which are also, these sweet treats, as long as you get them that are organic and healthy. You just have to be careful and mindful of what you're trying to put in your body. Enjoy your sweet treats, but you need to be extra, extra cautious, okay? And also, you need to make sure you are also doing a moderation when you are eating these sweets. Remember, it's a choice. Snacks. Be determined. I love snacks. I love eating chips and popcorn and all that other stuff, especially when I'm watching movies, okay? It's hard not to. But you need to be careful with all this stuff because obviously it's mostly all sweet poison. But fortunately, we're living in way better times where the market is kind of realizing that people don't want all that stuff, so they are making healthier versions of the same things that you're used to eating. So for instance, you don't want to be eating those chips that are full of oils and nonsense, right? So these other versions that are out there are organic and good for you, and they still satisfy that need for having some, snack. And as far as popcorn goes, I mean, you could just literally have regular popcorn yourself. You could just buy the actual seeds and make it. You can get the bags now that are organic. It's pretty amazing. And you need to just be careful with the snacks. I'm not saying you don't ever have snacks, but you need to make sure that you're not eating poison. Remember, it's a choice. Organic food. Be determined. You need to focus on eating organic food. It's the number one thing you should do. Because if you're eating all the cheap food, what's happening is you are technically just eating poison food. Like, yes, maybe it's 60% food, 40% poison. And yes, you are saving a couple dollars now and then, but realistically, it's going to affect you negatively in the long run. There's a saying in Spanish, lo barato te cuesta. The cheap things will cost you more in the future. So in the future, because you're eating all this cheap food that's basically poison, you're going to be spending all your money on trying to stay alive instead of enjoying your last years of life. I've seen it firsthand. I don't want you to experience that. I want you to enjoy the last couple years of your life. Don't let food steal... not food. Don't let this poison food steal those last couple years of your life. You should not be dying on a hospital bed with a bunch of needles and taking tons of pills because of the poison that you ate all your life. Cut it out and enjoy the life you're supposed to have. Remember, it's a choice. Thank you for listening and reading this book. I just want to thank my friend Victor Olusegun Boyega Olasiende for putting me on this determined lifestyle. Please make sure that you share the book, share the video. Have a great day.